Hello and welcome to my channel. Please give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoy it. Please subscribe to this channel and also click the little bell to be notified every time I upload. Thank you for watching. Hello everybody, welcome back or welcome to my channel. If you're a returning viewer, then thank you very much for coming back. If you're a new addition to our family, then you are very, very welcome. And today we're going to be having a look at a little collection of mine, which is based around Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Now, if you don't know Buffy, I highly suggest that you go away and do a little bit of research, because there is a huge void in your life and you're missing a great deal. If you do know Buffy, then I hope this will be interesting for you. Little bit of backstory. There were 7 seasons of Buffy on television. There were 144 episodes. The writer is a very wonderful, clever, intelligent, really thoughtful man called Joss Whedon, who's gone on to write loads and loads of other things. He's involved with the Avengers now, but what he wrote, in the way he wrote it, has influenced television enormously in the time since Buffy. Dates, well, the first episode came out on March, I've got it written down, March the 10th, 1997, and it went all the way until May the 20th, 2003. So quite a long time ago, but to a lot of us it just seems like yesterday. There are all sorts of people that study Buffy. There's a whole tranche of academics who are involved in what's actually called Buffy studies, and the whole point about why Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the television program, was so important was because it took ideas about what young women were like on television shows and turned them on their heads. They put young women at the centre of the narrative. They made her the most important part of the story, and I can't really explain how much that influenced the television that we watch today. It was all about inclusion, family, violence against women, and of course sex. Some episodes were more groundbreaking than others. Tara and Willow were two young women who had a sexual relationship in the show, and that had never been done before on mainstream television. It was absolutely groundbreaking. Spike and Buffy, there was an incident of violence between them, and that was dealt with just incredibly sensitively. And when it came to dealing with actual death that wasn't to do with monsters or demons, when Buffy's mother died, well, the whole of that episode was just also groundbreaking, breathtaking. I can't say enough things to make you want to rush out and go and watch every single episode. Anyway, situations in Buffy are wildly fantastical, but they are also wildly relatable as well. Boyfriends, girlfriends, brothers, families, sisters. There's history, there's moving from high school to university, there's everything that you could possibly feel in your life as a teenager is delved into on so many different levels. And my love of the show stems from my love of the characters, the stories, and the way they were dealt with. And to this day I still enjoy reading all the books I've got, which you'll see in the upcoming video, and my collection of ephemera surrounding Buffy. It's not the hugest, I'll say that now, but I've got some things that you might not have seen before. And this is a page from our local paper from August of 2003 with a picture of me and an article about how TV's Vampire Slayer has affected my life. And there's a picture of me at my desk when I worked in a call centre, and all the pictures and memorabilia that I had around my desk at the time. And it basically goes on to say how important I found it, the crossover between life and death and the living and the dead, and how there's something special about vampires. And I say that I was very upset when I heard that Buffy was coming to an end, but when it actually happened, it was strangely uplifting. So that was 2003, and yeah, Brighton's biggest Buffy fan. And this is my Buffy the board game, which you can play, up to 8 people can play this. It says age 14 plus, so you know, you've got to be quite old to even think about playing this. The great thing about it is that there's 8 different characters that you can be. You can be Drusilla, the Master, or Spike. Those are the 3 vampire characters that you can be. Obviously it was made around the time of season 1. The human characters are Xander, Willow, Giles, Cordelia, and of course Buffy. And each different character has a different combat value, and as you can see here, there's day and night regions that you need to play the game. And there's also different locations. So there's the church, the high school, Sunnydale High, the library, there's some neutral ground as well, an abandoned warehouse, a crypt, the graveyard, and a gothic mansion as well. And this game has been locked away in my cupboard safely, so that it's not going to get ruined by any weather, wind, children, people touching it, that sort of thing. So this is, as I say, about the time of season 1, and yeah, it all comes in a box. You get fate cards, you get character cards, and the whole thing folds up and goes in the box. These are very, very special. These are my Buffy top trumps. You probably will or won't remember top trumps. It's a game you play with cards. They come in a little case like this, and every character has different factors about them that you deal them out to your friends, and you see who's going to win, who's got the best powers, who's got the best combat, fright factor, killer rating, intelligence, and there's all sorts here. I mean, there's people that, there's the main characters obviously, Drusilla, Rupert, Buffy, Willow, Buffy's mum, Joyce, Wesley Wyndham-Pryce, all the major characters, Faith, Xander, Kendra, and of course Tara. But then there's some other people as well. There's the mayor, Principal Snyder, Adam. There's just all characters that you might have even forgotten. Professor Maggie Walsh from the university, and obviously Buffy and the Master there. The Gentleman, one of the best characters that they ever made. So that's my Buffy top trumps cards. always good. And I have as well got some Angel Top Trumps cards as well. They come out like this. And Angel characters, I mean, the host, who can forget him? He's actually sadly passed away, the actor that played him. Holland. All these different monsters, the oracles. Lila, Russell. Look at them all. There's Angel himself there, Cordelia, Faith again. So many characters from Angel. And of course, you can play this with your friends. Oh gosh, do you remember him? Yeah. And Top Trumps, very, very popular when I was younger. I don't know whether you can still get them or what's happened to them. But Angel and Buffy Top Trumps, well worth having. This is my diorama. It's basically so that you can have something on your sideboard or on your bookcase and just play around with little cardboard figures. It's a little bit later in the story of Buffy and her life because, as you can see, it's University of California, Sunnydale. It's got little feet so you can stand it up like that. On the other side, it's got a graveyard. And you can tell it's later in the story because Willow has met Tara, Xander has met Anya, Buffy has got a sister called Dawn and she's going out with Riley. We've still got Giles, but the only vampire character there is Spike. And Angel has obviously gone off to LA and left them all behind. So they've all got little feet as well, so they can stand up. Well, there we go. So they can stand up as well. And that is my diorama. So some more things that came out again around the time of season 1, because you can tell due to the colours, the actual font that they use, what the characters look like. This is just a notebook. It says Buffy the Vampire Slayer. It's got very faint characters that you can't really see on camera, but that is Spike there. That's the cross there. It's on both sides of the paper, so that's lovely. And to go with it, this beautiful pen. Well, it's a biro. It says Buffy the Vampire Slayer on it, and there's a picture of Buffy on the other side. And it's got the cross dagger at the top. Comes in its own nice pen tin. There's this, which is completely unopened, Buffy the Vampire Slayer Gum Buddy. And I'm never going to open that because then one day when I'm really, really old, it might actually be worth something. And you put your gum in here, you carry it around with you and flick it open when you want a piece of Wrigley's Double Mint. So that's my Gum Buddy. And then in here, I've lost a bit of the innards of this because this, I think, was a pencil case. But this is my watch. And it's got Buffy and Angel. I'll show you in another close-up, a little bit closer. These little tins are just adorable. They had bubble gum in them. They're like little suitcases. They've got handles on the top and they open like this. one with Buffy on her own, one with Buffy and Spike together. They've got patterns on both sides, as you can see, and there is no bubble gum in them anymore. I just keep odds and ends in them, and they sit behind me when I'm filming in the bookcase, so you might have seen those too. But aren't they just the cutest little things? And talk about random things, this is a little cushion, a Buffy cushion. It's got a copyright year 2000 on it, so you can tell how old it is. Buffy and Angel on one side and just Buffy on her own on the other side. I've got this great t-shirt with Spike and Drusilla on it. It's quite large. I did get it when I was even bigger than I am now, so I don't wear it very often. And also I don't really want the picture to crack any more than it has done, because it's a little bit cracked here and there. But Spike and Drusilla, one of the most sad love stories in the whole of the Buffyverse. Drusilla, just a beautiful sad character, completely mad, and Spike loved her so, but just a sad, tragic love story. This t-shirt also I got when I was quite a lot bigger, and after I lost a bit of weight I thought, well, I'll make it a bit smaller, and I laid it out with a t-shirt that did fit me, cut round the edges to sew up the sides, the same size as the t-shirt that did fit me, forgetting that of course the t-shirt that did fit me was a stretch t-shirt. And that meant that this ended up being so small I couldn't get, one hand in it. So I turned it into a cushion. So what was a huge t-shirt is now a delightful cushion. So I've got two Buffy cushions all together. Also got my Buffy mouse mat, and this has got a date of 1999 on it. And she looks so young here. I think it's beautiful, this mouse mat. I love it. I did use it for quite some time, and then I realised it was just too nice to use, and now it lives in the cupboard. You might have noticed it in some of my other videos behind me in the bookcase, because that's where it lives, keeping it nice and safe. So a couple of other things I've got. There's this lovely mug with Buffy on it, and it says, "I have a strategy, you're not in it." That had a Easter egg in it, and I got two of these because I knew for a fact that one was going to get broken, and it did, and I keep my paintbrushes in it now, but this one lives in the cupboard, so it's quite safe. And this lovely thing is a shot glass, and it says, "In every generation there is a chosen one," and it's lovely blue glass. And you can put a candle in it. It looks nice with a candle in. It's difficult to see in this light, but it really is a lovely blue colour. As I say, never use this. It lives very safely in the cupboard. These are some Christmas cards. These are so special. This is obviously Buffy, and on the outside it says "Slayer bells ringing," and on the inside it says jingle bells, Buffy's gonna slay." This is one of Angel, and it says "Eat, drink, blood, and be merry," and on the inside it says "Hark the undead angel sings." This is a characteristically cute picture of Spike, and it says "Silent Night" on the outside, and on the inside it says "Silent night, unholy night, let me give your neck a bite." And then here's one of Willow, and it says "Merry Christmas, you old witch," and on the inside it says "I'm dreaming of a witch Christmas." So some lovely Christmas cards there. I also have this rather wonderful Buffy t-shirt which is a bit more up to date, and I wear this one quite a lot as it fits me a lot better than the huge ones that I got back in the day. I've also got this brilliant vest which says, "In every generation there is a chosen one. She alone shall stand against the vampires, demons and the forces of darkness. She is the Slayer." And there's a big B and 2 crossed stakes in red underneath. And I'll show you the back. Hold on, because this is really cool. Hold on. And this is the back, which is like a lace sort of panel with a huge B on it. And I couldn't show it to you more easily than putting a duster behind it, because I haven't got anything white. All my sheets are black, all my pillowcases are black. So I've had to put a duster behind it so that you can see this B. But isn't that just the coolest thing? And I've got quite a few books as well. They're quite a range of different sorts of books. There's this sort of thing, the monster book, which has got stories and details of all the different characters. There's some colour pictures, all about as many of the characters and monsters that you could possibly think. Then there's the Watcher's Guides, which officially accompany the TV series. There's 3 volumes, and they basically talk about all the individual different characters and demons, their histories. Every episode is gone into in huge amounts of detail. So there's that one. Volume 2, which is bigger than volume 1. There's some of the sketches for the costumes. Loads and loads of detail in these books. I mean, if you never even had the videos, you could read these books and you would know everything about the season. And then you've got the Watcher's Guide Volume 3. Again, colour pictures, all the different characters. That's when Buffy worked at the fast food place. Don't know if you remember that. And again, all the episodes in detail, different characters. Really nice books, these Watcher's Guides. Then we've got different science fiction and fantasy writers talking about what they feel is important in all the different seasons of Buffy. Different writers here. You've got a critical companion to Buffy and Angel, that's called Reading the Vampire Slayer. Then you've got the companion book to 7 seasons of Buffy called 5 Seasons of Angel. Very similar again, essays from different writers talking about the series. You've got the Big Angel, The Case Files, official companion book. Bit like the Watcher's Guide, but it's called The Case Files because obviously he was a private detective and these are all his case files. Then we've got some of the other books that you might have seen behind me in my other videos. Why Buffy Matters, really important book. The BFI Buffy the Vampire Slayer Companion, also really, really good, important book. Sex and the Slayer, a gender studies primer, which if you know anything about gender studies is going to be really, really interesting. You've got Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Philosophy, Fear and Trembling in Sunnydale, and this is also very interesting. Feminism and the Ethics of Violence, that sort of thing. That's where you're coming from here. Fascism, Christianity and the Eternal Demon. Now that, you know, these are not easy books. A Slayer's Solution to Aristotle's Love Paradox. No, they're not easy books, but they're really good to read. And the last book is called Fighting the Forces, What's at Stake in Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And that sort of thing. Again, it's talking about society, gender, violence, race, all the things that we're still talking about today. Everything that's important was covered by Buffy and Angel. So those are all my books, and these are my beautiful DVD collections of 5 seasons of Angel, 7 seasons of Buffy. It's difficult really to think about a time when you couldn't get anything unless it was on a DVD, and how it came in a box. You get a little book with it. This is season 1, telling you all the different episodes. And it folds out like so. You get the discs. Folds out into a nice cross shape. And there's between 3 and 4 episodes per disc. So you can see that everything took up a lot more space back then. But they're lovely things. I do miss watching them. I know they're on TV now as well, and I think I saw recently that some television station is re-showing them. But I believe they are showing the remastered ones, which don't look as good apparently. So if you can, haunt your local charity shop, see if you can get original DVDs. The quality, so I've been led to believe, so I've been reading on some of the online forums and Buffy discussion groups. The old DVDs, these ones are much better quality than the new remastered ones, because the remastered ones were done using computer technology that didn't exist when these were originally shot. And these were lit, and the colour balance and everything about them was done mainly by eye and by people that knew what they were doing. So if you know any old people, try and borrow their DVDs, or as I say, you might be able to pick them up at a charity shop or somewhere else. So the actual DVDs where the whole of my collection sprang from. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If there's anything you want to ask, just pop it in the comments. Take care everybody. Bye bye. See you next time.